Thank you. I love you. Just wanted to say that first. Thank you. I would like to understand your perspective on to what degree we are distinct from the vibrational frequencies of others. And what I'm really trying to digest more is...
To the degree of your attention to them. Next.
Okay, yeah. I'm working through the idea of seeing
Someone told Esther a joke last night. She liked it so much. Not really a joke, but it was funny. Lady lived to be really, really old, still alive maybe, who knows. And they asked her what her secret, she was 105, what is your secret to this long life? She said, minding my own business. And that is the secret to alignment, not letting what's going on with others and your attention to it and your distorted perspective of it be such a big factor in the reason that you offer vibration in the way that you do. We'll let you speak, but Esther really just wanted to tell that joke.
I'm trying to reconcile that with seeing and caring about other people who are out of the vortex and creating a reality which is suffering. And I believe that, leading as an example of being in the vortex is a powerful way to saturate, I guess, the earth with that kind of feel. But is there anything that... So I guess the question would be, is there any, can a vibrational wave of a bunch of other people who are creating a reality that is suffering, and I'm thinking of genocide or something big like that, can that affect anyone who's in the vortex?
Because of the inconsistency of the way so many people hold their vibration, it's hard for you to accept the power of what that focus can bring. If you heard us a minute ago talking about your inner being, Esther playing with us all the time, who always holds the vibration of well-being, it's easy for you to focus on a condition that causes you to have a deviation, or separation is too strong a word, from that vibration. But it is an unnecessary thing that you do. We've been saying to our friends for a long time, start with easier things. Teach yourself alignment on the things where it's easy for you to find it until you get the sense of what alignment really feels like. Because the more you find alignment, then the more unconditional you will be about it, until you will reach a place that you can focus upon any condition and not lose your alignment. There's something that happens in the human psyche. It's not good for you. Maybe we'll take a little bit of time and see if we can explain how it has come about, although that's not altogether helpful for you. But it goes like this. As I stand in my human form, I tend to evaluate your value to me or your gift to me by the degree of your sacrifice. You follow us just a little bit? In other words, if you've got billions of dollars and you give someone $100, people say, well, why didn't you give them 200 or 500? Why didn't you give them $1 million? You've got billions. In other words, but if you sacrifice for it, then the gift somehow is more well received by humans, because they are not understanding, for the most part. You forgot to practice for a while your understanding of this infinite flow of resources and well-being. So there is this human sort of wanting to divide up this pie. You've got this finite pie that you think is the well-being, and it feels to so many like if that guy is getting more than his fair share of well-being, then he might deprive somebody else of some well-being. And from that flawed premise comes this sort of a repelling of the well-being that is flowing to everyone. So when you see a person who is suffering, or a group of people who are suffering, and you look from your vibrational place of alignment, you see, here's what you must do if you are to be of value to them, and if you are to stay in alignment with who you are. And unless you stay in alignment with who you are, you cannot be of value to them. If you're not connected to this stream, you've got nothing to flow. So The best way to understand is that as you are evaluating or sorting through the contrast, and you see something that you really do not like, some of that stuff will take you to your knees. It is so much that you do not want it. In the degree of knowing what you do not want, you are launching a equal rocket of desire. So by seeing their plight or their suffering, you are asking for their recovery or for their balance or for their well-being. You're launching this rocket, and source becomes a vibrational match to it. In other words, the suffering of the world has created a vibrational reality of such well-being and such proportion, we can't even describe it. And it is from that balance of well-being that new ones are being born. But the ones who are here could benefit from this vibrational reality that you are all part of creating. But you've got to be in the vibrational vicinity of it, or you as an individual or as a part of mass consciousness do not realize it. You don't get to let it be part of your experience if you don't believe it, if you don't expect it, if you're not a vibrational match to it. You can't set your radio dial on 101 AM and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. In other words, the frequencies have to match up. So you can't have your frequency set on poverty in the world or suffering in the world and be part of the flow of the pure positive energy. But here's the thing. You see, source is flowing to all of you, to all of them. There is a river, a stream, a powerful flow of clarity and abundance and well-being going to all of them. The question is, why aren't they letting it in? How is it that they've come to practice thoughts that hold them in a vibrational frequency? And you kind of ought to know that you're practicing thoughts that hold you in that frequency, because these thoughts that are holding you apart from the frequency of alignment feel so awful when you think them, you see. And so the best that you can do for anyone is to thrive in every way you can. And in your thriving, in your holding yourself in alignment, because thriving and alignment are the same thing, as you hold anyone as your object of attention, and this goes to the heart of your question. What can I do? What can I do, you said. When you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and you're holding someone as your object of attention, you're flooding pure positive energy all over them. Whether they can receive it or not is not something that you have very much control over. And they're going to look at you and they're going to say, but you're happy and I'm not. I need you to understand my plight. Otherwise, you can't help me. And you want to say, if I understand your plight, I will be a vibrational part of your plight, and then for sure I can't help you. But they don't want you to be over there thriving. They want you to be over there suffering with them, because it's all they know. They're not sucking you in because they don't care about you. They're sucking you in because that's the momentum of what they've got going on. So you have to understand how this works. You have to decide if you want to be part of the wellness, if you want to be part of the abundance, if you want to be part of the solution. The vibration of a question and the vibration of an answer are very different frequencies. The vibration of a problem and the vibration of a solution are very different frequencies. So when you tune yourself by focusing upon things that make it easy for you to align, going as general as you need to go in order to align, and then tune into who you really are, and then hold someone as your object of attention. It is our promise to you that if you can hold someone who you formerly saw as suffering as your object of attention, and you've practiced so well that you see them as thriving. That's what Jesus did. As you stood before him dripping your illness, he saw not your illness. He looked at you and he knew your well-being, and he knew it so powerfully and so clearly that your illness simply could not abide in his vibration. That's why he said, go forth and tell no one. Don't go home and talk about it. You'll talk yourself right back in to the frequency that was disallowing the wellness to begin with, you see. So it feels harsh to you when we say mind your own business. But what we really mean is tend to your own frequency and then. Tend to your own frequency and then. And you'll reach the place where you'll be so consistently filled with this stream of replenishing well-being. No depletion happening, just flowing through you, flowing through you, flowing through you. That when you see someone not allowing it, it won't upset your apple cart. It won't throw you off your game. You will be able to know their wellness even in their demonstration of their not wellness, because you know how it works, you see. It's like not one of you stands in front of your faucet. Beautiful faucets in this hotel. Esther was just enjoying them so much. And not one of you stands before your faucet when it's turned off and says, oh, mine's broken. There should be water flowing out of that all the time, you say. You know that from a moment to the next, it can be not flowing or flowing. And we really want you to understand that for those people who look like they're not flowing, from one moment to the next, they could be flowing. But if you see them as not flowing, then you are a perpetuator of that, you see.
I understand that. I appreciate that response. I think
it's really general, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's really general. So easy to understand. So easy to feel. Not very satisfying, though, was it?
It is satisfying. The more specific question is if those people, not whether or not I should or should not remain in my vortex, but if someone who is out of the vortex can physically affect me.
But in what case would that be? First of all, they can't even get in your experience unless you're giving your attention to them. Law of attraction will not match you up. So the first question you want to ask is, why is this in my experience? Why is this in my experience? Because I have an active vibration about it.
But is there a jungle of different vibrational frequencies that everybody on the planet, is there one, I guess what it comes down to, is there one Earth that we're all kind of in an ecosystem of different vibrational frequencies that are all just in kind of harmony with one another?
There are as many different frequencies as there are thoughts. The combinations of thoughts and frequencies is so extraordinary in number that trying to decipher it would drive you crazy. This is specifically for you. You get tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You do it all the time. And then, from that aligned position, a thought of what you're talking about comes into your mind, because your inner being knows this is the time for you to turn your attention to that. And sometimes, most every time, when that happens, you feel it for just a moment, and then you look at the reality of where they are. And then you feel that great disconnect between what Source just gave you because you were tuned in and what you're choosing to focus upon right in their reality. And then the negative emotion that you feel is not about their plight, it's about what you've just done to yourself. Don't you love knowing that? So you want to say to your friends, I love you so much. And they say, oh, that's so kind. I say, no, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for me. Oh, I thought you loved me for me. No. No. I find that when I love, I feel so good, so it must be for me. Oh, I thought you were loving me for me. No, I don't think so, because it feels so good to me when I love. And when I'm mad at you, it feels so awful. When I feel good, it's my doing. When I feel bad, it's yours.